Here we are at Logical Reasoning drill set number 7 over at lawhub.lsac.org, and we've got the first question of this set. As always, we're going to select one of our highlight tool colors, and we're going to read the question stem and identify it first. This reads, which one of the following most accurately describes a flaw in the reasoning of the astrophysicist's argument? So we're going to just highlight describes a flaw. And we know we've got the astrophysicist argument, and the astrophysicist is listed right here, so we don't need to highlight any of that because there's only one argument presented. But we should recognize that because we're being asked to identify a flaw, we have a relatively predictable question task. So we're going to read the information on the left, and we're going to then highlight the conclusion and hopefully predict what a flaw might be and how the astrophysicist reaches that conclusion. The astrophysicist states, Professor Bollinger maintains the theory that the origin of life on Earth was caused when a comet collided with our planet. In supporting this theory, Bollinger even quotes a recent paper in which I admitted that organic material is present in comets and that Earth did experience a collision with a comet prior to the emergence of life here. But the origin of life on our planet was not the single sudden event the professor claims it was, hence Bollinger's theory is false. So the conclusion should jump out. It is simply the statement that Bollinger's theory is false. And we should evaluate the information and think about whether or not we believe the astrophysicist here or if there's a relatively apparent flaw. So we've got Bollinger's theory stated. We know that Bollinger supported the theory with some sort of information from the paper written by the astrophysicist. But the astrophysicist simply refutes some thesis or some part of the premise that leads to Bollinger's statement and then says Bollinger's theory is false without really presenting any evidence. Just says that the origin of life is not what the professor claims it was, and then says he's wrong. There's no evidence. So we should have a mental prediction of no evidence is provided by the astrophysicist. So we go to the answer choices looking for something that matches this mental prediction. Choice A reads, the argument simply denies the truth of the position it is trying to discredit without giving evidence against that position. Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, it just simply denies it. And so this seems good. We'll at the very least hold it for now. Now, choice B, the argument is inconsistent because it accepts the premises, but not the conclusion of Professor Bollinger's argument. Well, it doesn't accept any premises. It basically says that it's wrong entirely. So that's just not matching the flaw. We eliminate B. The argument attacks the character rather than the argument of Professor Bollinger. Well, no, it doesn't attack the character. It specifically attacks the argument, so we can eliminate C as, again, just not matching our mental prediction. Choice D, the argument fails to provide evidence that a comet collided with Earth prior to the emergence of life. We're not concerned with the comet actually colliding with Earth, and in fact, it says there is a collision. We don't need the evidence of the collision. There's no reason to disbelieve that. So D, again, just simply not the flaw in the argument. And then choice E, the argument presumes that we can have knowledge of what occurred before the origin of life. Well, again, we're not concerned so much with what occurred before the origin of life, so E can be eliminated as well. And again, you might have gotten to the correct answer of A while ago if you had that good mental prediction at the outset.